Why, hello there! Nice to here. I hope this video finds you very, very well today. I appreciate you tuning in to check this out. This is the next unboxing of the latest big box unboxing, which is hopefully, again, doing better than the previous unboxings. Jeez, that's lots of unboxing. There has been a lot of unboxings, and I've kind of enjoying it. I like unboxing, just checking out new things and stuff like that. Two have basically been abject failures, with this last one being very, very nice. Check that out. This is the Rapax Mimi. This thing is really good. I'm enjoying it. So, this is a CJRB knife. You may have caught the name. That's a dog, if you can hear him in the background. This is the CJRB Nanner. Oh, I wanted to say thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Consider dropping a like and subscription should you want to see more content and stuff like that from me. Yeah, CJRB Nanner. I wonder why they called it that. Yeah. That actually works pretty well. I was kind of concerned about how the front flipper would work on something of this shape. It works pretty well. The reverse flick is a little bit tight there. Let's get used to this shape for a second here. Oh no, okay, that works that's decently easy. Rock solid. I can get it to come out, but it does take some effort. It is slightly off-center. This is a budget knife from CJRB, and I mean AR RPM 9 steel, G10. Is it the most practical thing in the world? No, but unlike these are much more practical. Like, this is much more practical, but it's definitely doing something very interesting, like the Mimi, in shape, form factor, and everything like that. This is a fun knife. Could it be a good knife? I don't know. Well, I'll have to see. Oh, it tapers. The grind behind the edge tapers, gets thicker out towards the tip, so you got a little bit of strength there. The sharpening tool and plunge grind is extraordinarily hard to figure out. I think it ends right here, so that gives you something. And of course, I'm assuming you can probably, yeah, you can definitely cut in more sharpening tool or expand this area just in general. Not bad. It's funky, but it's not bad. Do I want to crank this down just a little bit, see if I can get that centered just a tiny bit? Oh yeah, most of the reason it's not centered looks like it's just the edge angle on this side is deeper than it is on this side. It's pretty close to being centered. This is fun and cool and potentially a decent knife. I'm going to check this out, see what I can think about it, and I'll get back to you on this one. But the CJRB Nanner. A crossbar lock in a very unusual shape. Come on now. And a front flipper that actually sort of works for this shape, which is very strange. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's move on to the Bestech knives. This is a relatively cheaper than normal Bestech. This is not one of their super high-end pieces. This is I've been actually wanting to check this out for a long time. This is the Skirmish from Bestech. First of all, it's got olive wood handles, which they feel interesting. They're slightly textured. They feel kind of like almost untreated, which is odd. I would assume they're stabilized. G10 backspacer. And a big old cleaver's blade shape. Where's my little rag? Get some of this little bit of oil off there. 154 cm blade steel. Comes down to actually reasonably thin behind the edge for having a relatively low grind. Does it? Yeah, that's actually pretty reasonable for what you're looking at here. It's not the thinnest thing in the world, but it's decent. Okay, how's the actual Okay, that's a lot better than I thought. Again, very interesting design and style. I was very worried about this clip because you get a thin handle with this big old clip on the end. You can feel it, you're on it, but it's a lot more like it's not uncomfortable. It's not I'm not hitting particularly uncomfortable edges. I mean, if I grip down into it, yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable, but I don't really have a reason to do that. This is pretty good. How about the choke up position? Oh, the choke up position's even better. Like, you do feel like you could slip forward, but there's enough room in here, and the jimping is doing just enough. It actually functions. Yeah. This is, better than was concerned it might be in those areas where I thought there might be an issue. Also, absolute metric ton of room under that clip. That is a tall clip. And it's got a continuous rise. Good flex. This is going to be a good clip. Floating G10 backspacer. Bearings. Whoa, okay, that's some action. Not centered. Nobody's centered anymore. Come on, guys. Why is nobody centered anymore? Is there play in here? Oh, that might be part of it. Okay, that could be part of it. Fair enough. Not part of it. Not part of it at all. Yeah, the blade looks more centered than the tip is, but both are off center a little. I mean, I can try to play with that and try to force it over a little bit, but at the same time, it's not like the end of the world. Though this knife, I think, does come in at normally or originally over $100, which, yeah, I wouldn't exactly be happy that the tip is ground off center for that, but I'll be honest with you. I actually like this knife enough that I'm not going to be like complaining. Everything else is really, really nice. There were a couple different wood options and everything for this thing that you could get. I like it. I like it. I'd normally be more picky about the tip, but I can play with that and see what I can do there. Yeah, it looks like it's the grind at the tip. Yeah, I can actually look down the blade. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because it's, of course, not going to focus. But the blade edge goes pretty darn straight, and then it decides to just wander right there. Right about here it starts to wander. And the grind on one side is slightly deeper after that. Not the biggest deal in the world. Especially considering I got this knife for a very, very good price. It was on sale and everything like that. I will link everything down below, should you care to check it out. I can't guarantee that any of those, like, Amazon links give me something. I want to be upfront and open about that, and I'm working to get the share sale stuff up and running and get some maybe links to, like, Blade HQ or something like that. White Mountain Knives, I've done some good stuff. They've been great. So I'll probably try to get a link for them, maybe a discount code or something for you guys. But I actually like this. Contoured, very earthy wood scales, feel interesting in the hand. Great action. Someone just got a little bit lazy with the grinding. Like, there's a ton of features here that totally make this thing, like, explain. Okay. There's a ton of features that explain why this thing was the amount that it is. Just the floating backspacer, the level of execution on everything, the contouring, and the 154 cm, which tends to bridge the gap between budget to lower mid tier. Everything except for the grind is pretty darn excellent here. So that's nice to see. Though I guess you really do expect it from Bestech, right? Oh, okay. Let's see. We got another one in plastic. Really? That's odd. But fine, I'll go from down here instead. Let's see how this one is. The last of this box, which, again, I've been vastly happier with than previous ultra budget unboxings, even though some of these were actually pretty inexpensive. It really does just come down to some companies will deliver, some companies will not. If it has a name on it, it's usually going to be a little bit better. Not necessarily like all the time, but if they seem to be trying to be an actual brand, it seems like they try to put a little bit more effort into this. This is a more premium knife. This is the Best Tech. I keep wanting to say Samurai, but it's Samari. In this, like, stonewash reflective green and black finish. Lots of... This looks like a kombu design. Is this a kombu design? I don't honestly know. This is centered. It is a kombu design. That makes perfect sense. Let's get that blade cleaned off. Very thin, pokey, but also pretty large. Like, when I first unboxed it, this feels pretty small, but it has a blade on it. It has one blade on it. Definitely has a blade on it. Yeah, good edge, good edge. Kind of what you'd expect. No play. Wow, this jimping looks horrible, and yet it actually does something. I guess it really just comes down to execution. Even bad-looking jimping can be okay. The sharpening tool and plunge grind is not great. That plunge grind is definitely hitting the edge, but it is a flipper, so it shouldn't be a problem to cut in a little bit more. Yeah, we're centered. Good flipping action. You got a lot of details, but it's a pretty neutral handle, and it's honestly very comfortable. Ooh, good flex on that clip. Still got retention, but good flex. Not the tallest clip in the world, but it's nice. And it sits far enough forward that it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad getting in and out of the pocket. Of course, I haven't put it in and out of my pocket, so I can't say that for certain. And of course, when I do a review of this thing, it will be... I'll have a lot more to go on. But M390 blade steel. Decent lock bar access. Shake shut, but relatively smooth considering all the oil and little bits of gunk and everything that tend to come on these things. Pretty smooth. I can touch the apex of this tip right here. I just felt it when I closed the knife. I can't touch it well, but you could argue, like I'm pushing into it. Can't touch it too well, but it's just barely feeling it at the end, so I don't think it's too big of a deal. Long, slender, but with some style, right? My lighting on the other side seems to be dimming. This is cool. I like the, this very interesting, like, heavy stonewash or metallic green. It's really likes to play with the light a lot. It's pretty nice. Well, Kombu Designs, I like his design language most of the time, so not surprising. But I know this one's been around for a while, and I don't think I've ever actually seen anybody like mention or talk about this or anything like that. Maybe when it first came out, but I don't know when that was. And I saw this thing, and it was on like super sale, so I was like, whoa! I got this. I'll be straight with you. This is what, like a $300 knife normally, something along that lines. I got this for $99. Best Tech has been having some crazy sales on some of their, I guess, older models that maybe didn't do as well. If you can find it, I will link one if I can find one that's actually still on sale. This was a little while ago, mind you. But yeah, this is more than acceptable for $99. I don't know if I would have paid $300 for this. There's a lot of details here. Like I could certainly say $270 to $500 to $300 on this knife. It feels good. It looks good. I'm going to end things here and say thank you very, very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And where does the other one go? Oh, the nanner. Nanner. These are certainly 3 knives, aren't they? Very, very different. But I like them. They're cool. They're fun, they're different, they're interesting, and this box has been a vastly better success than the previous ones, which I'm happy to say pleases me greatly. I will see you guys later. The dog is crying at me. I don't know what the dog needs. The dog is a weirdo. But, thanks for watching. See you in the next one, hopefully. Have a great day.